Welcome to Learn About Law. My name is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law, and today we're going to talk about Illinois probate and estate law for 2020 and recent changes to Illinois estate law that are going into effect in 2020. So first, let's talk about what probate is. Probate is a court case that is sometimes required to allow an executor or administrator to collect the assets of a deceased person and then distribute them first to the deceased person's creditors and then the remainder to their beneficiaries under a will or any heirs according to state statute if there is no will. Probate is required in Illinois in order to give the executor or administrator this power if one of two things is true. Number one, if the deceased person owned more than $100,000 of assets outside of a trust or outside of payable on death accounts, or two, if the deceased person owned any real estate outside of a trust or outside of a deed that stated that there was a joint ownership with right of survivorship. So if you have generally any real estate outside of a trust or more than $100,000 outside of a trust, probate is going to be required when you pass away. The process of a probate case is for the person named as the will as an executor, or if there is no will, then the person that is elected by the beneficiaries as the administrator of the estate to file a petition to open the probate case. If there's a will, they'll include in the petition a request that the will be admitted and approved in probate, and they will have to give notice to all of the beneficiaries of the estate under the will or any heirs at law, according to state statute if there is no will, as well as any known creditors. They'll also have to publish in a newspaper of general circulation in the county in which the probate case is opened, notice to any unknown creditors. At that point, the executor or administrator will start gathering the assets of the estate and taking an inventory of what they're able to collect. And shortly after the opening of the estate, an inventory has to be provided to all interested parties, which include creditors, beneficiaries, and heirs. Creditors will have 6 months after the publication of notice in the newspaper and the notice that's given to known creditors to file any claims against the estate. So after that period, claims against the estate are barred. This is the reason that probate case usually lasts for about a year, is because once the case is filed and that initial notice is given, while the executor or administrator is gathering the assets, they have to wait for this claims period to pass so they know who claims to be a creditor of the estate. Once all of the assets are gathered and claims have been filed against the estate, the executor will prepare an accounting which takes into account everything that he or she took in asset-wise into the estate and how those assets are going to be paid out. The executor has to pay creditors with valid claims first, and then everything left after that is distributed according to the terms of the will, or if there is no will, according to how state statute says the assets are to be distributed to heirs. So the executor will provide that accounting to all of the interested parties, and then file a final report at a final hearing date with the court saying that the accounting has been provided and the assets have been distributed and the case is ready to be closed. So that's the life cycle of a probate case. It usually takes about a year. If there are disputes between creditors, beneficiaries, and heirs, or all of those parties and the executor or administrator, it can take longer. But that's what you really need to know about probate. Now, there's been some changes to estate law this year. Most of them don't revolve around probate itself. They revolve around trusts. There's a new law called the Illinois Trust Code, which it puts into statutory form a lot of the parts of the law that had previously been common law, and it makes some changes. But it usually deals with trusts, and trusts are generally handled outside of probate, although this is in the spirit of this video, dealing with estate law, so we'll talk about it briefly. We have a video and article just talking about the Illinois Trust Code at learn-about-law.com if you want more detail on any of these points. But I'll give a brief overview of the major changes. One is that there are more notification requirements that trustees are required to give beneficiaries as to changes with the trust or when the trust becomes irrevocable and when they're entitled to accounting. So there's a lot of new notification requirements for trustees to give beneficiaries. The code allows beneficiaries to act as trustees of their own irrevocable trusts without jeopardizing the benefits of those trusts with respect to creditor avoidance and estate tax minimization, as long as certain requirements are met. And we talk about those requirements in the video on the Illinois Trust Code in more detail. More detailed accountings are required of trustees to beneficiaries, so there's specific things that now have to be in each accounting that's given from a trustee to a beneficiary. And the statute of limitations has been shortened for claims against trustees and the time limits for some trust contests, some types of trust contests. Finally, the Trust Code creates something called silent trusts, which allows you to create trusts for young people without having to notify the young people of the existence of those trusts until they reach the age of 30. So again, we go into a lot more detail about all of that in our video and podcast about the Illinois Trust Code at learn-about-law.com if you want to learn more about that. So if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below this post at learn-about-law.com or below the video on our YouTube station. If you need some help, please give us a call at 630-324-6666. That's 630-324-6666. We offer free consultations in many areas of law, and we have several geographic locations for your convenience. If you found this helpful, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcasts or watch your videos. Thank you so much for watching and listening.
Thanks so much for watching our video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Click the subscribe button for new videos every week, and download and review us on iTunes. Visit learn-about-law.com for other legal-related articles and videos. Visit our business podcast and video blog, seizeyourbusiness.com, and visit Making Real Estate Fun for real estate videos and podcasts. Call us at 630-324-6666 for a free consultation.